An Arctic blast arrives later tonight. Wind, rain to snow with dangerously cold temperatures and wind chills. Good Thursday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, you can see some rain showers to the west near Harriman, Wartburg, beginning to advance. That's just the start of the light rain. May pick up more intensely as the winds pick up, but eventually it changes over to snow. I see some snow in blue over there toward Jackson, toward Memphis if we slide further west, but it's a quick mover. It's already moving out of the Jonesboro area. It didn't last there that long, and so this will be a quick mover. Snowfall amounts will be pretty minor in most cases. Wind chill warning, 4 a.m. Friday to 1 p.m. Saturday. This comes by way of the National Weather Service in Morristown. -10 to -20 below zero for most of us in the lower elevations, and -25 to -40 below for the higher elevations. That's extreme. That's dangerously cold. Hypothermia, frostbite almost assured if you're not protected. Up to 2 inches of snow with pockets of 4. The verbiage from the National Weather Service in Nashville. They did upgrade that around 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock Central Time. So Jamestown, Crossville may get the bulk of the snow. Depends on how long it lasts. This started at 6 o'clock Central and will last until 6 a.m. Central tomorrow morning. Winter weather advisories, midnight tonight to 7 p.m. Friday. Dusting to 2 is the verbiage from National Weather Service Morristown, and 2 to 3 inches across the mountains. And last but not least, I feel like you need a scorecard, wind advisories. We got those too. Now, if you need an app that's free, that's world class, you might want to download the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. You get traffic reports as well 24/7. But the wind advisories are talking about gusts around 50 for tonight, and generally 35 to 40 during the day tomorrow. So the winds are still going to be howling during the day on Friday, which will hate the feels-like temperature, keep it down in the basement or cellar. Tracking the clouds, we've got some of those. Oh yes, they'll be with us tonight. Winds are going to pick up, that's for sure. There's the rain changing to snow. It sweeps in here like a broom, and then it's on its merry way. But let's talk about how much moisture is going to fall. We're going to get about a quarter inch or less. Well, now, is it 50% rain? 50% snow? It's a possibility. There's certainly going to be an element of that horseshoe effect based on topography, temperature differences, and elevation. So here's what I expect. Because I know some of you are like, oh, I could read the National Weather Service. I want to know what Captain Accurate thinks. Here's what I think. Ready? Here's what I think. A general trace to 3 inches plus of snow for Knoxville and East Tennessee, collectively as a whole. Now, a trace is as much as like, that was it. That's all I got. It's not even a dusting. In fact, a few flakes fell, but because it's overnight, some of us, most of us are asleep. It may not even be noticeable in an Athens or an Etowah, further south in the Southern Valley. But if you break it down further, 1 to 3 plus of snow. I did tell my premium members I thought 4 and 5 inches were possible. Earlier this afternoon, the plateau may get the snow surprise. The valley, trace to 2, that may be generous, but generally about ½ inch to 1 inch plus around the city of Knoxville. But again, depends on the speed, how quickly it moves out. Therefore, the horseshoe effect could get bigger. And if that's the case, then our amounts around Knoxville would be less. But I do expect 1 to 4 inches plus for the Smokies with the higher end of that range based on elevation. I'm talking Chimney Tops, Clingman's Dome, and Mount LeConte. Let me show you what the horseshoe effect looks like. If you're new in town, you're like, what are you talking about? There's something magical about the horseshoe. It looks like a horseshoe if you draw it between Crossville, Oneida, over toward Middlesboro and back to the Smokies, where we get lesser amounts in the heart of the valley for those main reasons: topography, temperature differences, as well as elevation. Now, I anticipate that horseshoe effect may still give us maybe a quarter inch, ½ inch between Oak Ridge and Knoxville on some grassy surfaces, but it's not going to last long. Best chance for about 2 or 3 would be around, say, the plateau, and possibly in the higher elevations, like about 4 plus for Mount LeConte. So there you have it. That's my expectation. But headlines: Arctic blast starts around midnight, lasts until 8, and rain to snow with gusty winds, frigid gusty clouds on Christmas Eve. That means we're going to find partly to mostly cloudy skies. Look what the Arctic blast has already done in terms of snowfall amounts and damage reports. I mean, it's just insane. There's maybe 2 inches here, 3 inches here. It's not the biggest snowmaker, but it's caused some wind damage, -40 wind chills, and then you got 51-mile-an-hour gusts there in Tripp County, South Dakota. So that's why the winds will be part of it. And of course, this is all going to be happening in a mere hours, not much from now. Now, notice the 8 o'clock temperatures. This is the actual temperature. It's 17 right now in Memphis as of this recording. It is 46 in Knoxville. How much longer do you think it'll take? And I think it's between midnight. We could easily drop about 20 degrees in 1 hour. 20 degrees in 1 hour, that's crazy talk. No, it's not. You can see this ooze. I mean, this is as current as you can get. 8 o'clock Thursday, you got negative 11 Minneapolis. It's negative 13 Bismarck. And this is only the air temperature. You factor in the wind chill, it's off the chart. But let's focus on the Arctic blast, shall we? We see 11 o'clock here. There's midnight. And it's really moving into the plateau. And we're going to see that temperature drop like a rock. We suddenly start to turn purple, if not pink, and our temperatures will not recover, he says, in the afternoon. You're going to see it, maybe we get back to 12. If we're lucky, we hold steady. It's just bitter and frigid the entire day and into the morning on Saturday. It does slowly try to retreat Saturday afternoon, but you're going to have to be patient. And that's why I've shown this illustration multiple times of the drop tower. How many of you at the carnival or the last amusement park, I know Dollywood had one of these for a while, mild down to Arctic blast, because that drop may give you an adrenaline rush because we're dropping about 20 degrees in 1 hour and 40 degrees in 8 hours. You're like, that's nuts. I didn't hear that. Well, that's what I expect. And it may exceed 40, but I think that's a reasonable expectation. By the time we hit 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, many of us will fall pretty fast. And there's some rain, obviously, on the east side at one point, and it'll change over to some snow, and you throw in some wind, and you have the ingredients of a highly dramatic weather pattern. And it's obviously making its mark across much of the United States. Futurecast looks like this. Watch these temperatures. 45, right? There's 11 o'clock. Well, that looks like rain to me, Aldrich. Yeah, it is. It's rain around Knoxville, 11 o'clock. But it's snowing in Jamestown. And it's starting to snow pretty good in Crossville. So they get snow a little longer. And we're still waiting for this rain to come in. And it comes in. Boom, boom. Look at that. Now it's trying to chill. A little brief mix. I mean, maybe a little sleet. I think I hear some icy pellets. But it's still snowing in Jamestown. Still snowing in Oneida, Crossville. And that rain is in Morristown, Newport. But again, it sweeps in and it's starting to show signs in Athens of just falling apart. It comes in, it hits the valley, it loses its upward momentum, and there you go. You don't have much at all. So it's a trace to nothing. But then you get a few more flakes in Knoxville, 1 o'clock, and then pretty much it's done. But look at these temperatures. I mean, 3 o'clock, it's down to 17, 14 at 4. Can we go any lower? Can I hear a 12? Do I hear 12? 12 anybody? 12 anybody? There it is, 5 o'clock. Maybe we can get down to 6. Maybe we can get to 6. There's 5. There's 8. There's 7 a.m. It's going to keep dropping to about 9. 9 a.m.? Are you saying it could get to 6 by 9? Yeah, there it is. Ding, 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 ding. 6. Some of you are negative 4. Jamestown, negative 3, actual Crossville. Ouch. You got to be careful, extra careful, because this cold will cut through you if you're not wearing every bit of the layers that are required to stay warm. 12 degrees is what I expect our daytime high to be, but we could still be around 27, close to midnight, maybe still in the 40s. I mean, if I put 45 or 47 on the 7-day for tomorrow, you guys would, that's nuts. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop in a free fall, like the drop tower. High temperatures on Saturday will be lucky to get 23. That's Christmas Eve with more sunshine and scattered clouds. Whenever clouds are present, we will have potential for flurries. Take a look at the wind chills. You want to know how bad it's going to get in terms of wind chill? Oh, look at these numbers. Here we go. There we go. -9, -14. Do I hear? Yes, it's cold. We're talking about -21. By 1 o'clock in the morning around Jamestown. It starts to go into Oneida, really dropping in Oak Ridge, -10. 3 o'clock, there's 4 or 5 in the morning, -14, -18 in Morristown, and it keeps going. You see what I mean? Just brutal. And then even by the afternoon Friday, we're lucky to get back to -7. As we look at the futurecast, it shows the bigger picture. Snow comes in, lingers for a little while. Looks like there's more in the Southern Valley on this map, but it doesn't last long. It moves away pretty rapidly, and then we start to see the bitter cold air really take hold across much of Tennessee and across much of the United States, to be quite honest with you. So we're not going to escape it if you move to another state just for a day or two. It's going to be lingering for several days, and there's no turning back once it takes place. And it's going to take place pretty soon. But Merry Christmas. By Sunday, it's mostly sunny. 6 degrees, the low temperature tonight. Arctic blast, rain to snow, and the winds. What kind of winds are we talking about? 10 to 25. Gusting 30 to 45. If there were a 50, wouldn't surprise me. But I think 30 to 45 is reasonable to expect based on the data that I've looked at. -4, Jamestown. -3, Oneida. These are actual lows. 5 in Morristown. And again, it's academic to say Friday's high. But that's what we do in the weather base. Midnight to midnight. We'll still be, if we're not at 27, we're at 47. I mean, it could be in that far. You could be off 20 degrees from 1 hour. That's how fast we're going to drop. That's how fast we're going to drop. And yet you'll wake up tomorrow morning closer to 6. I call it dangerously cold, feels like. Dangerously cold wind chills. Hey, that feels like danger. Danger, danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Yes, 30 to 40 for gusts. Frigid with clouds, partly to mostly. Many of us will start off in the single digits at midnight in Jamestown and Oneida. Obviously, we're going to be getting colder. I call it Friday falling because that's all we're doing tomorrow. Daytime high 12, early snowflakes fade. 23 on Saturday, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day about 29. But there is a good sign if you're on Team Spring. You like warmer weather? We're back in the 50s, but after these pipes freeze in some cases and expand, if we have a rapid warm-up, there could be some pipes bursting. So we could have a lot of problems heading down the road. Be prepared. Make sure you check on the pets. Make sure you check on your radiator, your pipes, your faucets dripping. And don't forget the elderly neighbors. Check on them before and after. We need to take care of each other moving forward. No question about that. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. And we'll see you next time. Take care.